what we understand from you guys is that the number one question on your minds is, what is forbearance? Should I do it? And how do I do it? Well, here's the good news. I know there's not a lot on the internet about how this works. It can be very confusing, and there's lots of old information. So the good news is I can give you the most up-to-date information now, and I think it's very actionable information. You can take it, stop this video once you've heard it, and then go out and go into forbearance if you'd like to do that. So let's first talk about what forbearance is. Forbearance is basically patience. That's what forbearance means. It means to bear with. It means that they will give you some time. Your servicer with whom you have a relationship, that's who you make your monthly payment to, they're agreeing to go into a relationship where they're willing to kind of have some patience with you and allow you to catch up. What forbearance is not is forgiveness. Forbearance is not forgiveness. That doesn't mean that you don't have to make your payment, and that's probably the biggest question we've gotten. Does this mean I don't have to make your payment? No, it means you have to make your payment at a point in the future. Now, because of that, it is vitally important that you understand the terms of your servicer's particular forbearance process, because they're all different. I've seen them be as much as 30 days, and then you ask again, 30 days, ask again, 30 days, ask again. I've also seen them be as long as 6 months with an automatic 6 months, so a full 12 months, and everything in between. Now, the only way for you to find out what works for you is to go to your servicer's website. So whoever you make your monthly payment to, by check or just comes out of your account, that's the bank you need to go to and click. Usually it's in the upper right-hand corner, and it says something like COVID reliefs, or it says something like the CARES Act or stimulus package, forbearance process. Click that button. You'll take a short application. You'll tell them what's going on, and you will very likely be approved for forbearance. So that's good news. But here's what you need to understand about forbearance. Number one, there are some good things about forbearance, and there are some bad things about forbearance. The good things, I think, are that this is not going to hit your credit. That's great news. They're not going to be reporting against you, no derogatories, no reduction in your FICO score whatsoever, so you can feel confident that you're not harming your credit. Number two, another great thing about forbearance is when a lot of people do it, it stops panic. So if you have a big group of people that are out there right now and they need forbearance, what they might have done in the past is just simply stop making their payment, and then you get this sort of cascading effect in real estate. We don't expect that to happen because forbearance allows people to settle in, slow down, not panic, find some time to get income and get themselves back on their feet. And that's a very, very good thing. Now, let's talk a couple of downsides. Number one, some of the downsides come in the actual terms of forbearance itself. So make sure you read it and understand it really, really well, because probably the most common process for forbearance I've seen so far is that you're automatically granted 3 months, but in the 4th month, you owe 4 payments. So if you have a $2,000 a month payment, that'd be $2,000 April, $2,000 May, $2,000 June, and then in July you owe them $8,000. And that's happening quite a bit. There's a lot of folks that's going to help, and a lot of folks that's not going to help. So you need to make sure you understand what the terms of your agreement are, and that you're planning and that you're prepared for that. Another kind of downside of forbearance is that if you're in forbearance, you can't refinance. So if you were hoping to take cash out, or if there's a future rate that you're hoping to get a hold of, you're not going to be able to refinance while you're in forbearance. And so I would tell you, if you don't absolutely need forbearance, don't do it yet. Wait. If you were planning on doing forbearance preemptively just to be safe, it'll be there in another month or two. Let yourself figure out if you really need it, and try to avoid it if you can, because you're going to get all the best if you can stay in your current contract, okay? So that's important. One little nuance I want to touch on that we got asked questions about is, what's the difference between forbearance and deferment? Number one, I am not aware of any major bank doing deferment whatsoever. So you might be hearing people using those terms interchangeably. If you hear a banker use them interchangeably, the banker is not sufficiently educated on this topic. There is a difference between forbearance and deferment. Forbearance is what I mentioned before. It's bearing with, it's being patient, it's giving you time, but you're still going to make the whole payment just at a later time. Deferment is different. Deferment actually refers to the fact that there's a third party, it's usually the government, coming in to make some or all of the portion of your payment you didn't make. So if you've ever had a federally deferred loan, then you probably have experienced the fact that Uncle Sam actually pays the interest for you. Now, as I said, that's not in the CARES Act. I don't see that in any banks yet, but because people are asking me about it, I want you to have the education on the difference so that if you're told you're receiving a forbearance, you've kind of got the education to push against that and say, does this mean you're paying part of my interest or all of my interest or all of my payment and I don't have to pay it? Or does this mean you're just giving me time? If the answer is we're giving you time, then again, the banker's using the term incorrectly. So make sure you understand that. Make sure you've read through your terms and that you are clear on what you're getting yourself into. Avoid it if you can. Take advantage of it later. The best reason I think to take advantage of it later is because I believe it's going to continue to be iterating. We're probably going to have to make some changes. There's going to have to be some new additions to the CARE Act, and deferment may even be a possibility in our future. So make sure you're watching for those things. We're going to certainly keep doing everything we can to keep you updated. And as I said, guys, please continue to like, share, and subscribe. And watch for us very soon to get back into these macro topics, because that's really where we're going to give you the rudder that you need to kind of navigate the strange waters we're in. And so we've got a big webinar coming up at the end of next week. If you'd like to be a part of that, just send us an email or watch for the buttons. Soon we'll have buttons for you to RSVP as soon as we open that up to you. In the meantime, guys, we're going to continue to serve you. We're grateful for all you do to support us, and we're going to continue to support you. So thank you, guys. Be well, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.